What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another fly tying episode. Today I'm going to be tying up the tiger tail clouser. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing that you are going to need to tie the tiger tail clouser is a set of heavy dumbbell eyes. Mine are unpainted, so you can see I'm just going to whip some up real quick here. I've got some white acrylic paint and some black acrylic paint. Large UTC thread here in 280. I'm going to start the thread about 1/3 of the way from the hook eye and snip off the tag end and stop this thread in the middle. I'm going to set my dumbbells on top of the hook shank here, on top of those thread wraps, and just make crisscrossing wraps over the eyes, and then a few under the hook shank to really bind down those wraps. And once I've got this firmly secured on here, I'm going to start with my tiger tail wing here. So I'm going to grab my tiger tail substitute, which will be some dyed bucktail. I'm going to start with orange here and snip off a clump. Then I'll use black and then white to simulate the tiger tail. Obviously, tiger tail is illegal to possess, and I wouldn't want any anyway. Just measure this out, and I like mine to extend about a hook's length behind the end of the fly there. So I'll take a few loose turns over the top here, adjust my deer hair, get it setting on top again, and then a few tighter turns, and I'll take my thread and jump over to the other side of those dumbbell eyes here. And this is where I'm going to make some tiger stripes with my thread, make some open spiral wraps down, and then back up. And then I'll come in with some scissors and just snip all this deer hair off. Next material I'm going to use is black bucktail. So I'm going to pull out all of the fuzzy fibers and short fibers, even this stack out a little bit. Then I'll just place it under the hook shank here, and you can tie it in the same length as the orange. I like to taper mine just ever so slightly so it will be a little bit shorter than the orange. So I'll just tie this in at the front here. Now that I've got that secured, I'll snip this hair off that's hanging off the hook eye. Clean this up a little bit. And for the last material, it's just going to be some white bucktail. So I just snipped off a clump of a natural bucktail, some of the whiter sections. And this is going to be placed under the hook shank. After same thing, try to build in a slightly natural taper. Make sure that deer hair is on the bottom of the hook shank now. And when you pull this tight, don't do it downwards, pull it up. That's a really good tip to remember. As you're applying pressure, don't do it downwards, do it up towards the ceiling. So I'm going to come in with my scissors and snip off the last of the deer hair, the last of that white deer hair, and that is the fly. So I'm going to grab my whip finish tool and make a few 3-turn whip finishes here, nice and tight. And snip off the thread. Now the last step here is to just reinforce this a little bit with some head cement or glue. Just going to grab some Sally Hansen's hard as nails here and coat the top and back of this fly here. I just dropped my Sally Hansen's on the floor, so it was upside down for a second, so there's way too much glue here. So I'll come in with a little piece of deer hair here in a second. just wipe that excess glue off the bottom there. Alright, so that is the finished Tiger Tail Clouser. Obviously this is a Clouser minnow, which is one of the most popular flies. Works in saltwater, freshwater. It's definitely a extremely versatile fly, invented by Bob Clouser many years ago. And this is simply an adaptation, trying to make a tiger hair substitute here. So it's a good fly to have. Actually, I think I'll bring it with me. I'm going on a fishing trip tomorrow, so if I do catch anything good with it, I will put a clip in at the end of this video so you guys can check it out. Show you what it looks like in the water. It thins out, but it's kind of fat in the center. It really looks like a minnow belly there, that white minnow belly. It's just got a good shape to it, a good bait fish shape, and those eyes obviously stand right out. I like mine sparse, thin. I think the fish like it that way too. Here you go. Now you can make your own. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button. Please subscribe to support the channel.
We got one, boys. Second. Oh my God, it's a rainbow.